I don't know where I'm going, but I do know where I've been.
Where have you been?
Sook, where have you been?
Enjoying summer, my friend. I mean, that's what the summer is for.
Have you been, Sook?
Friends, families, birthdays, good times. You know, I like checking in every now and then just drifting off into the sun, the fun, the surf.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me put this on so I don't have any echo happening. Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I want to get lost in your rock and roll.
Jeannie Clay. Oh, thank you so much. You know what? I celebrated a birthday. I celebrated my son's birthday. My mother's birthday is next week. My nephew's birthday was last weekend.
Nice.
It's a big birthday month for our family. There's a lot going on. And, you know, vacation, sunshine. I don't know. I can't say no to it. It feels good.
Did you see the elephant happy birthday message that I sent you?
I saw the giraffe.
The giraffe. Yes, not the elephant, the giraffe.
Yeah, I was going to say, you weren't an elephant, you were a giraffe, and I thank you for that.
It was the happy birthday, dear. And I give you the tongue. Blah, blah, blah.
But I think, you know what? I think the summer that's what the summer's for, vacation and catching up. I mean, like, you know, hey, we deserve it. We deserve it. It's for our mental health. We just don't do this for everything. You know, we need it too.
I can't believe that the summer's basically over. And by the way, we have a great show tonight. Trishes is coming up. She's an amazing musician. 17th
of August. What are you saying? The summer's basically over for?
Dude, summer's over. Listen, my daughter's home from camp. My other daughter, I'm taking back to college tomorrow. Okay. Summer is over, dude. Do not leave your kitchen. We got shows to do. It's over.
I'll leave in my kitchen. I'll see you after Labor Day.
There's no more sun for you. There's no more wearing
sun
white.
For me. There's drinks. There's sunshine. There's outdoor bands, venues. I am not stopping because I need this to get me through the winter. And everybody understands because we've all been cagey. And it feels like you got to enjoy these moments while you get them, if anything, right? You got to enjoy them.
Listen, here's the deal. You see how I'm wearing a black sweatshirt. You're wearing white. You need to get rid of the white because it's done.
No, I'm not in mourning. I'm in sunshine.
It's over. We're in mourning. By the way, my daughter's trunk bag with all her clothes in it never showed up. It's at a warehouse in Pennsylvania.
So where is it?
It's at a warehouse in Pennsylvania with all my kids' clothes. We got nothing. She's wearing the same underwear.
Isn't that like thousands of dollars? Your wife, I know your wife has fantastic taste. And I know she spends a small fortune every summer to get these kids ready. So where is it?
A lot of money up there. A lot of money in that bag.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of money that she could wear for the school year.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm doing a little back to school shopping, ladies and gentlemen. Did you hear the story that they're like, start your Christmas shopping right now?
Well, you know what? You know what you could do?
Containers and all this other garbage. I'm like, what?
You know what you could do for me with your Christmas shopping right now?
What?
I was about to say something dirty, but
I love Christmas. I'm not pushing that either. I'm still in summer. Do you see the bounty of tomatoes in my basket right there?
You do? Hold on, Sue. Hold on. Let me see what kind of
bounty of tomatoes. Wow. It's no longer bananas. It is tomatoes.
That is lovely. Yes, we have no bananas. We have no bananas.
So we have a gorilla for sale.
We've got a gorilla for sale. Magilla gorilla. Sook, we have one show this week. That's tonight. And then next week.
Tomorrow you're dropping your daughter off, right?
I got to take my kid back to college. Thursday, I'm coming home. Next week, we load it up again. But we have an amazing show tonight. Trishes is coming up in just a second. She's this amazing musician, singer, songwriter. Barna Abel, top of the line casting agent here in the New York area. She's coming on. She's also a media coach, a talent executive. We got all kinds of things happening. Phil's going to join us later on the show.
Talent executive. She's everything in one.
She's everything. Sook, listen, if we play our cards right, maybe Barbara will see something. She'll see something in us.
Help her to help do this.
Yes, she'll help us to help ourselves.
Help us help ourselves, babe.
Yes. Here we go. You ready to start this thing off?
Let's do it. The Suki and Scott Show.
This is one of the funnest shows I've ever done.
Lady, when you're with me, I'm smiling.
It's musical. It's magical.
Suki and Scott, that's 7 of Hearts.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is a sexy show.
Someone's getting some action.
Now, these larger-than-life personalities are on an exciting new journey as they bring you The Suki and Scott Show.
You guys nailed it. You're great. You ask great questions. You listen.
I answered you because I have respect for you guys, and it was a question respectfully put.
The Suki and Scott Show is your one-stop destination for humor.
You like De Niro and Cape Fear. Counselor!
Entertainment.
Jesse's girl.
Wonderful.
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
And optimism.
You guys have such amazing energy.
Ultraviolet light, it gets in there and it just fights the kung flu, is that right? Okay.
Let's laugh together.
I love him.
The Suki and Scott Show.
Yeah, Suk, you were missed. We had Naomi DiClemente was in for you.
I love Naomi. I'm glad she could be in.
Yep, Naomi did a great job. Philly, of
I miss Richard Marx. I love Richard Marx. I saw that show. She did a great job. You were with Phil that night, I believe.
I was with Phil. That is Suk. You know what? I grabbed something from Richard Marx because isn't it amazing? This show, we've been doing it a year and a half already, right? We started because of COVID. COVID's still happening. People still need to come to us for laughter and some fun and excitement. Could you imagine Richard Marx? Basically, he gave look at this little concert he gave us from the other night. Take a look at this.
Another chance, another walk, another dance with him. I play a song that would never, ever end. How I'd love, love, love dance with my father again.
It's not really a guitar song, but that's it.
Oceans apart, day after day, and I slowly go insane. I hear your voice on the line, but it doesn't stop the pain. If I see you next to never, how can we say forever? Wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you. Whatever it takes, or how my heart breaks, I will be right here waiting for you.
And it's not quite in tune, that guitar, but
Wow. Can I tell you something? That guy is amazing. You know that little morning show that we did in New York for a while? He was on that show. And after, there was a hotel right next door to it. And I'm sitting there. My best friend happened to be in town from California. And she missed Richard Marx. And I was like, let's go out and get some breakfast. Lo and behold, there is Richard Marx standing there. And he comes up to me and he says, that was a great interview, blah, blah, blah. And my friend is sitting there like, you know Richard Marx? I was like, that's who you missed. That's who you How amazing was he? I mean, wow.
Look, he was such a great guy. I mean, so he's a real ball buster, had a lot of fun with us. He had Dickie Boy on his name when he showed up. But just so, do you know what he told us?
How handsome is he?
Good looking guy, married to Daisy Fuentes.
Daisy Fuentes.
He told us a great story about that song. He offered that song to Barbra Streisand.
Wow.
Right here waiting for you, because he didn't think he was going to sing it on his album. She asked him for a song. He offered up the song when she read the lyrics. She called him and said, I'm going to have to pass because I won't be right here waiting for anybody. So that was his story. So it was really funny. And he had some great stuff. But listen, we've got some great guests coming up next week. Nick Tarturo, the actor from NYPD Blue and Longest Yard. Nancy Allen from RoboCop in 1941. We got a bunch of good folks coming up. But tonight is a great show. Trishes is here. Barna Abel's coming up. Trishes has some great new music out. I'm going to give you a little bit, Suk, and then we'll bring her in on the other side. You ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
We're advanced, been enhanced,
Got our morals refinanced, we are evolved. Problem solved, got our savage sins absolved. We got white teeth, cars are shiny, keep our floors clean, so they're blinding. We wear big sunglasses, big lipstick, like they wore mats in their travel pain. We got screens like shields and anonymity. I got big sunglasses, don't fuck with me. Big sunglasses and big lipstick, like they wore mats in their travel pain. We got screens like shields and anonymity.
Wow. Incredibly talented.
I was just thinking, boy, if I had like 4 shots of tequila, that would really freak me out right now. There she is, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Trishes, how are you? Where are you in LA right now?
I am. I'm in Los Angeles.
Oh, Los Angeles.
Now,
Yeah.
just give us a little background on your name, because the whole plural thing just throws me off every time. But it's Trishes, right?
Right. So my name's Trish, and Trishes is based on the constructs of self. So it's a project I created to sort of sort out my own
identity,
internal conflicts. And so it's the Trishes are the id and the ego and the superego, sort of the Freudian constructs of self. So in that video, it's really it's based off the Milgram experiment, but it's just the commentary is saying that we're not just the participant, we're also the authority, and we're also the victim, and we're all of these things all at once. So yeah, that's why the name is plural, but my name is Trish.
I love it. And the Milgram experiment, that's the one they did at Stanford University?
The Milgram experiment was I don't believe at Stanford, but there was also the Stanford prison experiment, which we had some, which it also inspired, where they have like the infamous like aviators that the prison guards wore, and the Stanford experiment, I believe, was also influenced by the Milgram experiment. So yeah, there's a little bit of footage later on in the video that that alludes more to that.
Wow. I mean, it seems like it's like your music taps in not only to the ego, but it's very like introspective, psychological. It's like, how did you come up with this concept of exploring all of that through music?
I think I just did it because it was therapeutic and cathartic to me. Because we all have these different wants within ourselves, and for me it's easier to sort out the conflicting wants and needs by having my voice in real space in real time. So it just really came naturally because of sort of my mental process, and I also like really think in loops. Some people call that anxiety, but I think just this platform and this form of expression was naturally just the most therapeutic thing for me.
It always is. Music is, yeah.
Yeah, and Big Sunglasses, the song that we just played before we came on, pretty wild. It made on Billboard, Souk, on Billboard.com, 10 cool pop songs to listen to this week.
Definitely is.
And Big Sunglasses was on that list. Trisha, do you want to play a little bit of that one? I know we played it, but do you want to do a little bit live?
Yeah. I was going to play the whole thing live. Can I do that?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I'd like to hear the whole thing live.
Play it. We'll do it live.
Great. All right.
And now you wrote this song yourself?
I did. Me and my producer, Hakan.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Good stuff. And what you got? I see you got multi-instrumental type of deal going on there, huh?
There's going to be a lot happening.
All right. Go ahead. You let it ride.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Give me 1 second.
I'm already thinking, man, again, if I had 4 shots of tequila, I'd be freaking out right now, Stu.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Don't fuck with me. La 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 la. Don't fuck la 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 la. Don't fuck la 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 la. We're advanced, been enhanced, got our morals refinanced, we are evolved, problem solved, got our savage sins absolved, we got white teeth, cause our shiny, keep our floors clean, so they're blinding, we wear big sunglasses and pink lipstick like they wore masks and their tribal paint. We got screens like shields and anonymity. I got big sunglasses, don't fuck with me. Big sunglasses and pink lipstick like they wore masks and their tribal paint. We got shield and anonymity. I got big sunglasses, don't fuck with me. Progress, possess, can't wait to get undressed. We like fine art, we're smart, throwing insult like a dart. We got big smiles, we got big plans. Watch us get wild, watch how we dance. We wear big sunglasses and pink lipstick like they wore masks and their tribal paint. We got screens like shields and anonymity. I got big sunglasses, don't fuck with me. Big sunglasses and pink lipstick like they wore masks and their tribal paint. We got screens like shields and anonymity. I got big sunglasses. Ooh, 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 don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with. We wear big sunglasses and pink lipstick like they wore masks and their tribal paint. We got screens like shields and anonymity. I got big sunglasses, don't fuck with me.
That was very cool. Wow.
I won't mess with you, Trish. I won't mess with you. Trust me.
I love it.
I mean, talk to us about, like, did you explore this when you were at the Berklee School of Music, where you came up with? I mean, explain all of the gadgets that you have and how you mix it all together to make it happen. Like you,
it's super
how do you do
fun.
that?
So this thing was being a little bit fickle at the beginning, so
I like
started
it. Yeah.
But this is the Boss RC505 loop station, and this just records whatever I do until I press a button, and then it records everything I do until I press the button, and then it records everything I do until I and then this is the TC Helicon Voice Live Touch 2, and this is what I use to like manipulate my vocals.
Did you always love looping? Did you always love looping everything together, or was that an exploration?
It was after college. After college, I got into that. There was a girl in college who used to do looping, and I thought it was so cool. And then when I moved to LA, and I didn't have a band to play with, I got a loop station so I could sort of just build that sound by myself, and then it just really fit my my personality and my way of thinking, and I just kept on doing it.
I love it. I love it. It's
Now,
amazing.
Big Sunglasses was the one. Oh, was the one that just came out last Friday, right? Was that
Yeah.
Big Sunglasses? Yeah, it just came out last Friday. It's available on iTunes and all platforms where you could buy her music. You did, Suk, you know the song In Vogue, "Free Your Mind"
The rest will
and the
follow.
rest will follow.
Yep.
Well,
I saw it on her Instagram.
She did a version of that. Check this out. I brought it so we could play it on the show. Just take a look at a little bit of this. Watch.
Before you can read me, you gotta learn how to see me and free your mind, and the rest will follow. Be colorblind, don't be so shallow. Free your mind, and the rest will follow. Be colorblind, don't be so shallow. Free your mind, and the rest will follow. Be colorblind, don't be so shallow. Free your mind, and the rest will follow. Be colorblind, don't be so shallow. So I'm a sister, I buy things with cash. That doesn't mean that all my credit's bad. So why you gotta go wasting my time just because you think that the price is too high?
Love that. I love that, Trish.
That's very
Thank
cool.
you.
I love also the fact that you're Trinidadian, that you play homage to your culture. I like seeing brown faces. And
Like mine. She loves brown faces like mine, Trish.
Not your face, Scott. My face, like faces like mine.
Yeah, I also love seeing brown face.
What? I'm not brown enough for you? I love.
No, but I mean, how has that been an influence? Your background, your heritage, your family in creating music that's relative to the world that we live in today.
I think it's just had a huge impact on my philosophy on life. I think in Trinidad I was exposed to so many different religions and people, and I think the religious aspect of it was the most influential because we would celebrate the Christian holidays and the Hindu holidays and the Muslim holidays, and it was there was a kind of there's like a kind of fusion in community there, where it feels like a true melting pot, whereas America likes to think of itself as this melting pot. But in comparison, in my experience, isn't to the degree that this island is. I think partially because of just the population breakdown. There's less of a minority majority structure there, which I think opens it up to a little more fusion and cohesion. So I think I just grew up with this a unique philosophy on life, and I think my whole project is really, there's psychological elements and there's political elements, but at the core of it, it's really like a philosophical project. It's really my way of being a philosopher, I guess.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Trish,
You're amazing.
When did you start getting into music? How old were you? Were you very young at the time when you first realized this is what you wanted to do?
My parents liked to tell me forever that they don't know why I became a musician. But then I was looking through all of these old videos to make this video for my dad's birthday. And in like so many of them, everyone is asking me to like perform. Everyone's asking me to sing all the time. And I think they did that with I think they probably do that with all of the little cousins I grew up with.
But you must have been very good, you know what I mean? Or a performer innately.
Right. I just loved doing it. So since I was a kid, but I didn't really understand it was a thing I could do until later on. It was a thing I wanted to do. I think the lack of representation, like we were talking about earlier, had a really big impact on me. I didn't see people that looked like me in the spaces that I enjoyed in pop music, and I didn't think it was a thing I could do. So it's a really it's a great anecdote on why representation is so important, because it's so much easier to do things when you see it done.
And I used to get that question all the time in my industry when people used to interview me like, oh, like, you know, who was somebody you looked up to? And I'd be like, my parents? I don't know. It was like nobody identifiable. I mean, I was creating space for myself because there was no other space. You know what I mean? There was nobody else with that holding that space. So I find that interesting that, you know, it's so important to be represented, and it's nice to see that happening now.
Definitely.
Yeah. Trish, you one of your videos, I think it was Gaslight, you directed that video, right? So not only are you singing and songwriting and playing instruments, but you're also directing too.
Yeah, I directed that one and I edited that one, and it was so much fun. And like really we filmed it like all on iPhones. I think one of us had a real camera, but Freedom had a real camera. And yeah, it was during lockdown, and so we Freedom, Kelby, and I we met on Zoom a couple times, and we figured out a basic choreography and a basic layout for this, and I sent everyone a shot list. So that was kind of the extent of me being a director, was sending everyone a shot list and telling everyone what I needed from them, and then sending back notes on that, and then editing it together. And it was just like I needed this project at the time. Like I was going crazy. This was probably in like April, May, where I was just losing my mind in lockdown, and like I needed this creative outlet, and working on this project was just so much fun.
The doctor ordered.
Yeah, looks like everyone on the video is losing their minds too.
Yeah, it was also just the perfect time to do it, because like the film Gaslight, where the term gaslighting comes from, it is about this woman essentially being stuck in her house thinking she's going crazy. And we were all really feeling that. So it was just the perfect timing to create this video, because they were all very real emotions that we were able to express.
Do you ever have a favorite song, or is it like, you know, that's like talking about your children, like it's all moments that kind of come together in a
love them all?
collage, you know what I mean? What is it? Do you have one?
I think I have a favorite. No, it's hard. Like I have favorites. I don't think I have a favorite, but Big Sunglasses is definitely one of my favorite records. I think it's so fun and interesting, and like the amount of weirdness that I wanted it to be. So it's that one's I'm really proud of. And Gaslight's another one that I'm super proud of. But yeah, I think there's a handful of favorites, but not one.
Do you want to do one more before we go?
I will do one more. I will do Venom, which was the first single off the album.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
This is going to be good, Sue. She's going to freak us out right here. Listen to this song.
I was born in the year of the snake. I was born in the month of the scorpion. You wonder why it's stings almost every time I speak. Predisposed to the error of my ways. Got a temperament like a loaded gun. I blunder and I rage and I smile with all my teeth. I got venom on the tip of my tongue, just like a scorpion, just like a snake. I've got tough skin, armor I was made in, just like a champion, rattle and shake. I was born in the hot sun rays, far away from the desert oasis that you and yours were raised, and that kept you smooth and fair. Let me put my arms around you, baby, let me hold you tight. You just might like it rough, you might like it when I bite. 'Cause I've got venom on the tip of my tongue, just like a scorpion, just like a snake. I've got tough skin, armor I was made in, just like a champion, rattle and shake.
And when I speak, it's poignant, poison. Everybody's scared of the words that I'll say. So deep brings all the poison. I'll be the predator 'cause
I've got venom. I've got venom on the tip of my tongue, just like a scorpion, just like a snake. I've got tough skin, armor I was made in, just like a champion, rattle and shake.
Woo! Whoa!
Wow.
Thank you.
I envision that as like the opening score to like a, a movie or something. That was very cool. Our audience really
Thank
liked
you.
that. So you have the album called Id, right?
Yeah,
comes out October 22nd.
Yep.
And everybody can get that where could people find you?
You can find me at Trishes.com. If you go to Trishes.com, you can pre-save the album. You can also find me in any of the social media things at Trishes Music. So it's TRISHES Music.
Beautiful. Trishes, listen, when the album comes out, come back a little before that, sing for us some more, and we'll promote it again.
Definitely.
Thank you so much. You're
Trish,
really amazing.
They're going to happen. I mean, it's just amazing. It's unique. It's such an expression. You're very talented. God bless you.
That's very smart.
Kill it.
Very
smart.
Yeah,
you're going to kill the game.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Trishes, thank you very much. Best of luck to you, and you definitely come back, okay?
I will.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So talented, Scott. I'm telling you.
She was amazing.
She's a triple threat. She's everything.
Now, by the way, we didn't even mention she's also a model, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. She's also a model, beautiful girl, so talented. Let me just get us back to our screen here. I can't see it, Suk. There we go.
There we are.
Suk, listen, we have more to do. Our one show this week, we really loaded it up with some heavy hitters tonight. Barna Abel's coming up in just a few minutes. Media coach, casting director, talent executive. Suk, if we play our cards right with Barbara, if she sees that we're good hosts, she may be able to do something for us.
She's going to say we're talented.
I don't want you to take this lightly. I think our chemistry is important here. You know what's amazing? I'm just thinking you listen to the music that Trishes was just playing, right? Last week, while you were off, not only did we have Richard Marx on giving us a little mini concert, we also had Sophie B. Hawkins was on last week.
Oh my God.
But it's Damn, I Wish I Was Your Love. She sang that for us. And it's just the thing I love about this show and what we've done over the last year and a half. We brought on people like Trishes who have been. There are so many great musicians and singers and songwriters out there, Soup. I love when they come on the show, and I love when we mix it up with the big shots too. And it's just that's why this has become such a melting pot for our audience.
Well, I mean, I think we also go way beyond that. I think we get the stories behind the stories. I mean, I think and a lot of this is such nostalgia. Like when you think about her.
Yeah,
Sophie B. Hawkins and Richard Marx. I mean, we could tell a couple of stories about where we were when we heard those songs.
Oh, we did. Phil and I did. Backseat high school type of deal.
Oh boy.
And Richard Marx is actually on tour with our boy Rick Springfield.
Really?
Which I thought was that's like a perfect duet. And they sing a couple songs together. They do their own. And Rick, of course, was on here as well. But when I saw that those two were going out together, I mean, that's like the perfect combination of two guys, right? Who just 20 songs between them that everybody our age knows and loves and dances to. And they won't be in our area, but that's a great concert to go see. Soup, this is, by the way, if you didn't know, and I know you didn't, it's show number 225. So the one day when I called you and said, Soup, we need to start doing a show, we sparked up the old Zoom machine. So I wanted to give you before we bring Barbara in, I wanted to give you a quick flashback as we celebrate show number 225 to a guy who we loved having on the show. He was back earlier when we first started. I think we're still on Zoom. But take a look at this, and we'll bring Barbara in on the other side.
It's a Suki and Scott Show fantastic flashback.
All right, Suki, first one is for you.
Okay.
Cutting the mustard. Cutting the mustard.
Cut the mustard.
Cutting the mustard.
Cutting the mustard.
Nicely done. That's really not wrong.
Yes, that was it.
Cutting the mustard.
Uh-huh.
All right, you ready for that?
I'm ready.
I'm like I got to get my teeth whitened right here.
Yeah, man. But you sound like my uncle, so I should get this.
Good burger.
Good burger. Good burger. Good burger.
Good burger.
Good burger.
I'm telling you, you sound like my uncle, dude. Like he drunk. That's how my uncle. I learned to speak that language.
So man, get your ass in the house.
I don't know what the hell it.
Suki, this is for you. You ready?
Yeah, I thought that was.
Necessary rottenness. Necessary rottenness.
What in day? What?
Necessary rottenness.
Another day.
No. Necessary rottenness. Sarah knows it, right? Sarah knows it.
I'm trying to think what the. Wait a minute. Now you like my uncle on heroin. I never learned to speak to him. Let me.
Right, so necessary.
He's drooling now. He's drooling now,
I'm not drooling yet. It's necessary roughness.
Necessary roughness.
Nah, you got it.
Yeah.
Suki, you didn't get that one.
It's a Suki and Scott Show fantastic flashback.
So
I was
great.
wondering how Sinbad was doing. Remember, he got a little sick for a minute.
He had a stroke a while back. I texted his assistant, and I think she said he was doing okay.
Okay.
I told him to come back on when he was ready, feeling good. But that was so funny with his movies, and you were having a hard. You love that game.
I was like this.
You make that I'm frozen face. Anyway, Suk, our next guest, Barbara Barna Abel. She is a top-notch casting director, media coach, talent executive. She has not only casting, she not only helps TV hosts, build confidence and personality, but she's also helped discover a couple big names in the business, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Let me give you a little bit about Barbara, and then we'll bring her in on the other side. Take a look. Here's some of the things she's been involved with and helped cast along the way. There she is, ladies and gentlemen. Barb, wait, Barb, you got your mic is on mute.
Just hit on mute.
There we
Right.
go. Oh my gosh, amateur mistake. I didn't know it. Anyway, I have to take a screenshot. I'm so excited to be here. I am plumsing to be here with
Go ahead, Barb. Take the shot.
you. Okay, one more time.
Nice.
Thank you.
Barbara, how are you?
I'm great being here with you. Trishes was amazing, by the way.
Oh my
She
God.
was,
She
wasn't
was
she? Just like very unique. What an incredible. I mean, that kind of, you have the ear for music because that was sort of your early stages of your career yourself.
Well, that's very kind of you to think I have an ear. But yes, I love music. So I started my career in the music business, and then I kept my teeth in TV at VH1 in the golden days.
Wait, Barb, you were an intern at what was it, Virgin?
Yes.
Virgin Records?
Virgin Records in the UK.
Wow, that's unbelievable. I assume as an intern there, did you ever get to meet some of the good groups?
Oh my God. It was the heyday of Culture Club, Human League.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, look at you. You have an amazing production team. I'm very impressed.
Production, yeah, you're looking at the production team, Barb.
Well, you are very, very impressive. And what was also really fun is back in the day, Virgin was also the sales team for Island Records. So there was a huge celebration when U2 entered the UK charts at #1 with, of course I'm blanking because it wasn't Boy, maybe it was October. Anyway, so that was a huge thing. But anyway, it was, yes, the 80s, and it was so fun. And Boy George was in the office all the time.
That's
so my
amazing.
job was to make tea for people.
I love you. So,
and Sir Richard Branson. I made tea for Richard Branson.
Oh, man.
That's wild. And Human League was "Don't You Want Me, Baby," right?
It was very fun.
I just watched this whole doc on Geffen, and that was just so fascinating, going flashback to who he was back in the music industry, what he was able to create. Were you inspired? Because I feel like the 80s and the 90s, there was just this moment of creativity where everybody was really, it was so palpable. Do you feel like the music industry then led you into your next life and the next iteration of who you were going to be?
Yeah, but that's a really great question, because I actually started by having a fanzine with friends and did college radio. So it was all very DIY, and this feeling in Los Angeles then in the music scene in the early 80s that like anyone could do anything. Like there was no barrier to entry, and there weren't velvet ropes at nightclubs. And if you could just figure out where it was, you could find out where it was and hang out at independent record stores. All were welcome. It was a very inclusive scene at the time. And then, walking into MTV Networks, which was VH1 and MTV, and it was so small, both companies could fit in one conference room kind of at the same time then. And we shared resources. But it was very much like a startup. Before, we didn't call them startups then. But yes, it was like if you had an idea and you could figure out a way to do it really cheaply, you could do it.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Barb, how did you discover, we're going to talk about, like I said, media coach, casting director, talent. How did you discover that you had, personally had this eye for good talent and an eye for helping people, discover their own personalities and get comfortable in front of a camera? Was there a time where you just, where you wanted yourself, you wanted to be on air, but you said, you know what, I think I'm better on this side, helping people achieve their goals in front of the camera?
Well, to answer that, I was always a behind the scenes person till digital technology and the business world changed, and I became and so I have to do what I teach other people to do. We all hide on camera.
Right.
I've known that for about 10 or 11 years, but if you didn't know that, I mean, you guys know, but I mean, like the pandemic made it very clear to everyone, you're on camera, right? Because we're all on Zoom. But do you know, even before the pandemic, like 90% of job interviews already involved a video component.
You mean casting? What?
Not regular job interviews, because you're constantly being interviewed via Zoom or Skype. I would often joke, because when I actually coach so many people outside of media for just these types of things, and there's always like an executive somewhere who needs to interview you. He's in Singapore, and it's like, I need to get this done now. But people stream meetings to satellite offices. So I have clients, I go, right, and you're like, we're in, our headquarters are here, but we have satellite offices. Oh, look at me. Thank you. Love you. But anyway, so to answer that, no, I was thrust in front of the camera because that's what the business world demands now. So that's one of the reasons I teach what I teach, because I can tell people this is what you got. This is how I work through my hesitation. Here I am. But to your original question, Scott, it never occurred to me that everyone couldn't do what I do. And so it kind of starts with that whole adage is, do what you love. And so as an unemployed person right out of college, I watched a lot of TV. I always watched a lot of TV. I grew up watching TV and digesting media. I just loved it. I had music, media, magazines, glamour, all of it. And so I, would watch TV, read magazines, talk on the phone. And then I found a career that allowed me to watch a lot of TV. I get paid to watch TV, read magazines. Now it involves, reading blogs, following social media, and telling people what I think about it. It never occurred to me in the beginning. It's funny you say it's like, doesn't everybody do that?
Yeah, right.
And then Barbara, you represent such a variety of people. Like, from Carson Kressley, Jay Tapper, Ted Allen, Wayne Brady. How do you wear all those different hats and represent all those different people with
I don't represent them. So I'm not an agent and I'm not a manager, so I don't represent them. But it was just seeing. I think I'm a super fan, and so you see people are like, you do something fun and interesting. Well, wow, that's kind of cool.
So you discover them and connect them? Is that what you did?
Yeah, just in whatever that situation was. So with, Wayne, it was this early, like just before he broke, it was a show called Vinyl Justice on VH1. And he's a big music fan. And it was he and Barry Sobel, and they dressed up as cops and went into people's homes. And it was based on a format from the same production team at World of Wonder that does RuPaul's Drag Race. It was the same team, and it was the whole idea was that they would come in and like arrest you for having bad taste.
Bad taste in music. Listening to Barry Manilow.
By the way, I have to think, like, considering first of all, Scott, I love how much you were into music and learning about you, from your show. And congratulations on show number 225, which
thank you.
So amazing.
Thank
but
you.
I was going to say, so I unapologetically listen to a lot of uncool music, so I don't think anyone should be arrested for their music.
What's the most uncool music or artist you like to listen to?
Well, I think that they're all kind of cool, but I cannot lie. Like this morning, I was listening to Petula Clark on my walk.
Petula Clark, okay. Petula Clark is down? Is she downtown?
Yes.
Yes, everything's waiting for you.
Go.
Never heard it, Amar. Never heard of her, Barbara.
Well, somebody would say that because I'm also, believe it or not, a Tyler the Creator fan. And so his album is like Call Me If You Get Lost. I was like, this is so incredible that there's this through line between Petula Clark, Blondie's Call Me.
Yeah, Call Me.
Creator.
That's wild. Listen, you have books, you have blogs, you have podcasts. I want to ask you about this, first of all, this ebook.
Oh, gosh.
12 tips for success on camera and off.
Yes.
What's your top tip for someone who comes to you and says, hey, listen, I'd love to be an on-air host. I'd love to do this. I'd love to do this. What's the first thing you tell somebody who says, Barbara, I need your help. I need to get comfortable in front of the camera?
Well, first thing I'm going to say is breathe, because you have just like, so I'm going to ask, do you have any experience on camera? What are the things that come up when you say you want to be, why do you want to be on camera?
Right.
What are you looking for, right? What do you love to talk about? Who are you talking to? Mm-hmm. It never gets down to actually just one question. And I'm a big believer in this great quote that's nobody ever failed in Hollywood. They just quit too soon. So it's like, do you have the
work? Really good.
And right. It's sticking with it and being able to, take feedback and hold on to your dream. I'm a big believer in, big dreams and turning those dreams into action steps so that you can, achieve your goals, but that, you have to be able to pivot as things, change, adapt to new technology, trends in the marketplace, stay true to yourself. But a lot of it's sticking with it. There you go. It takes a really long time to become an overnight success.
And nowadays, it feels like there's so much noise that clarifying your message, like, what is your message? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to tap into? You talk about tapping into your superpowers and clarifying messages. I think those are very important because it feels like every time you tune into something, there's so much noise, and to figure out the noise that you want to listen to or that curates to your life. I mean, you know, Scott and I were always, we were trying to redefine like who we were, what we wanted to do, and what the message of the show was going to be ultimately, you know? And it's really evolved over when we started, you know, 225 shows ago.
I am so impressed and inspired by what you're doing. I just, you know, my podcast just launched in April, and it's like, bravo you. I'm really, yes. And it's interesting, you know, Rob Shooter, who I love and adore, said to me.
Yeah, Rob, sure.
Right? He was like,
love Rob.
Me too. And he just said, when you're launching, just be glad no one's listening so that you can mistakes, right, and grow. And I was like, you're absolutely right. And he said to me too, it's like, you know, would you do this in 10 years if nobody was listening? I said, yes, I love doing it that much. And he said, good, then you're supposed to be doing it. But
yeah.
What you said was so important. There's so much noise, so it's really hard. Actually, we all have to kind of stop and take a step back, not to be super distracted by all the shiny stuff that distracts us, and to understand, you know, what's a shift versus just a flash in the pan, what's, you know, trendy versus an actual trend that's worth studying. And all of us sometimes get distracted, and we zig and we zag, and we're like, oh, we tried that, and boy, that thing didn't work. But so we're going to try this other thing now.
Yeah, no, and it's such a different world today with all of these digital spaces, as you like to call them. And I mean, if you were going to start a podcast, you could type in any name, and it comes up. That podcast is being done. I mean, there are millions of podcasts, and the one thing that's changed so much, especially when it comes to people even in our age category, regardless of our experience, regardless of your talent on the air. I mean, there have been many times where if I went on an audition for something or to host something, I didn't get a job and lost it to someone with no experience, but they had 1 million followers on Instagram. And that's basic. That's the way people, do you look at that heavily now when you're casting? Are you very into someone's social media following? If they have, you know, 10 million followers and they're a big influencer, will that carry over for them if they're hosting something on television?
So to answer your question, yes, we look at everything when we're casting because we look at the whole picture. And I sometimes think that's an important thing for especially young talent to understand that nothing exists in a vacuum. And to your point, you have to understand, you know, what does my case, the client, the buyer, the network, the production company, but really what does the network or the platform need? They need eyeballs. And so they're looking at a lot of things when we're going to cast. But to your point, you know, when this really started a number of years ago, to me, it was much more important than it is now. It's important that everybody have a presence, because if you're not in the sandbox at all, it's kind of a red flag, like, right? Because there's an expectation you know, that we're all marketing machines now and all this. But Scott, you just asked the most important thing is, does that audience translate? And that's very much on a case-by-case basis, but oftentimes those audiences, a digital audience does not migrate with an influencer to linear television or to cable TV. There can be absolute exceptions, especially in super niche spaces or depending on what the platform is, but no. So, and those often can be very expensive in this case. So, you know, I was curious, like, whatever happened to that show with the influencer that, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I love collecting famous disasters. And there was, I don't know if I can say this, but there, you know, a number of years ago, the daytime Emmys, and I hope this doesn't, you know, knock me out of ever getting one, but I don't do they famously did that, right? They hired a bunch of influencers.
Oh, yeah.
The red carpet.
Yes.
Didn't go so well.
It didn't go so well.
No.
I mean, because and you know this, Barbara. There's an art to interviewing. There's an art to doing research. There's an art to like knowing who your audience is and to get things out of people in a different way. And I think influencers work in their medium, but maybe not necessarily in the medium of a red carpet. But there are people that translate though in other ways.
But I was also going to say in that case it was a two-way street because they didn't prep. I was like, did you study the influencers that you hired? Because they did what they do. So a couple of people, you know, really sort of famously were a little bit outrageous and maybe asked that's what they do on their platform. I don't know what anybody expected was going to happen otherwise. So that definitely. So yes. So the whole point is some people do and others don't. And that's another thing, actually, to your point, Scott, too, is more than numbers. You look at engagement. All that data is available, and then whatever. There's certain things you can subscribe to that gives access to greater data. So it's more important to have a smaller following that's highly engaged.
Highly engaged, yeah.
Right, because it's really important. If you have 5,000 people and you can get 5,000 people to show up or buy something, that's golden.
Yeah.
A lot of might have because you're like fun, but you have 1 million people and they're not going to go anywhere.
Right.
What are the trends now? Because you were talking about being a trend forecaster to know like which are the things to engage in to put your resource and energy into. Like if a kid was watching right now today, or like there are a lot of parents that are on our site right now. What are some of the resources that you would say, hey, this is a trend that is going to stay. This is something that is worth your investment in learning that technology, et cetera.
Well, that's really great. I always say to everyone is learn as much as you can and embrace lifelong learning. So regardless of what your career path is, I tell every young person I meet to be good at editing video, because chances are the person you're going to work for doesn't, if they're over, and now you're golden because everybody else is like can do that basic thing, whether it's like PR or whatever that is. But if you can do that thing that they can't do,
yeah, they need you.
Yes.
No, I was going to say, you have this BBA manifesto that I was reading earlier today, and it's a bunch of sayings, and they all start with "I believe."
Yes.
Is the beginning of each one. I wrote a couple of them down because I wanted to get your thoughts on them. One of them was, "I believe there's a shade of pink for everyone."
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Well, first of all, it's very inclusive. Pink, which I have a lot of there is a shade of pink for everyone, and pink looks good on every skin tone, and it looks really great on camera. So, so there's a practical thing to that, but I really wanted to be. It's the notion that there's room for everyone, and I just happen to love pink.
Yep. How about I believe? Well, I believe you're never too old and it's never too late. We know what that means. I believe when you stop apologizing and start harnessing your power, you are unstoppable.
True.
Is that for folks in 40+ age group or the kids today?
I think that's applicable to anyone.
Anybody?
So, and I know, there's a lot of data that women in general we are often very apologetic. There were a lot of books about 5 years ago written, right? It's our language. We're apologizing for showing up, speaking up, with the use of the word just.
Say sorry when we bump into somebody. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But I'm sorry I'm emailing you. I'm sorry. It actually shows up in auditions and job interviews when I coach people, just the body language. We're like this. People can be nervous in audition and even apologizing for taking up space. So that's a big thing about like owning your space. And that's that's a part of tapping into your power, which is nothing to do about being aggressive. That to me is owning your awesome.
How are you able to harness that power, considering that there's so many few women that have been able to reach those levels where they can really create change and affect and change people's lives?
That's one of those things where I was really inspired. We were talking about, the opportunity you created for yourself growing up with having absolutely zero role models that you could look to, because, that's incredible. And so you can think about the impact you have every day that you show up, Suki, and the difference that makes to someone. And so I think we are living in incredible times. And I do, my kids are college age and just out of college, and I'm really inspired by the young people I meet because they're galvanizers. And the reason I bring that up is the fact that they are making change. So I'm constantly inspired because I did grow up in them. I did come up in the music business in the 80s. And so I saw a lot. And I never thought things would change. It was. And so you just internalize and sort of suck it up and not get really deep and heavy. And so I'm so inspired by every single person who says, you know what, that's not okay. And I'm going to speak up with potentially tremendous risk or downsides to themselves. So I think there is a lot of forward momentum.
Now there is a lot more forward momentum than it was in the past. Yes. I think in the past, even like as short as 4 years ago.
Absolutely.
I don't think you would have had a platform to stand there and say, you know what, this doesn't feel right for me. Whereas now you could say, let's take a step back. Let's analyze what we're saying here. and let's have a conversation that's a little bit more between the lines, you know, like before it was pretty much very black and white, you know, and I always searched for female managers, and I never saw them in the industry that I worked in. And you know, very few. And I always felt that they never showed up. Well, only 2 women really showed up in my career in terms of really helping other women galvanize their power, their superpower, in order for them to achieve their dreams. And I always found that really sad.
Yeah, that hurts.
It was always a man's game for so long.
And you're talking about really specifically in news?
Oh yeah, that's my background. So yeah, for sure.
Because I was going to say it was transformative for me just stumbling into cable television, because that's where women were at the top. That was the first time I saw women in senior management. You know, legendary Jerry Laybourne, who created Nickelodeon, you know, and women started to inhabit all over TV and production. And I was really inspired. It was, anyway, that totally changed my life, because to your point, you still don't see that many women in the music business. And you know, whatever, we can all do the data across all these things, and there's just not enough representation, whereas women, and certainly not enough people of color or any diversity, Asian executives, indigenous. Yeah, we have got a lot of work to do in that regard.
In media, yeah, I think we do have a lot of work to do. I just feel like it's always been just one thing and not everything. And I wish that the conversation where, like, you know, like Scott says, when you get to a certain level of your life, you have so much experience and you have so much to say, and you could play the game even better than you did earlier. And it's taken away from you, and you're just like, but why? But why? You know?
Well, that's why I love what you're doing, because you've adapted to the technology, created opportunity, and now you're taking all that experience and you're so relevant. And that's where the 2 things have to come together, is to tap into like what makes us relevant in the space. How do we meet our audience? What value?
Where they are, yeah.
Yeah.
Barb, listen, when I have somebody who I think would be of great value to you when it comes to casting. This gentleman right here, I think if you're ever casting someone who could do a Jason Statham impression, Philly, give Barbara your Jason Statham, please, before we continue.
If action star Jason Statham was a traffic cop.
May I see your driver's license, please? The reason I stopped you were driving recklessly. If you do it again, we're going to have some problems.
So good.
Barb, next time you need to cast a movie, can you get him in there? FBI agent, SWAT guy, Marine vet. He does it all, Phil.
Hey, Barbara, I got to tell you, you know, Scott told me you were going to be on the show, so I've been watching Barbara videos pretty much all day today, because I'm always, you know, being an actor or a wannabe actor, I'm always looking for, you know, tips and lessons and motivation. And hey, I got all that from your videos. I mean, you talk about mindset and your technique and your practice. And, you know, I'm just soaking all this stuff in. I want to thank you for making those videos, because seriously, they really motivate people.
Welcome. Gosh, thanks for watching.
Yes,
Wow, that's amazing. You should, wow.
Yeah. No, listen, Phil, you know, it's funny, Barb, because when Suki and I started the show, we started having guests on, and we just couldn't get, and one of our audience members said, hey, there's this guy, Phil. He's a police officer in Oklahoma City, right, Phil?
Yes.
He's a police officer in Oklahoma, and he sings in his squad car. And Phil would put on the headphones and with the karaoke music and sing like an angel, like a country singer. He became a viral superstar. Millions of followers, millions of views, like you wouldn't believe. Over 100 million viewers on Facebook. We had him on the show one day, and next thing you know, the guy's our third co-host. We can't get rid of him.
Music director.
I love you singing a duet that I was watching last week.
Yes. We're always, and then it turned into me with my crappy singing voice, ganging up with Phil, and our audience, half of our audience loves it, half of them hate it, but they still don't get that it's kind of a joke when Phil and I sing together. but a lot of the videos we just had one. We did Tony Orlando knocked 3 times, got 1 million views around the world.
Yeah.
And we just laugh because it's just so funny. But Phil's been a very integral part of this show, and it's just funny how, like you said, if you just get on and do it, things evolve so much, and it's been amazing, and we don't have to leave our homes.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Scott told me you're a casting director, you're coming on, and I tell you what, casting directors, to me, I'm so intrigued because in my short acting career, I have lived and died in front of casting directors, and it's just such a roller coaster, but it's so fun. It's so fun, and like I say, I'm always trying to find that edge and trying to get that tip. And your videos really touched me. They're awesome.
Well, thank you so much. But I also wish you the best. So it's, what have you been able to audition at all in person, or is everything you're doing self-tapes right now?
I do a lot of self-tapes, but I also do some in-person stuff. Yes.
For you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey,
And Barbara, you know why he's having so much fun doing it? Because he's retired and he doesn't care if he gets it or not.
Hey,
That's why he's having fun. There's no pressure for Phil.
After 40 years of being in the military and being a cop, it's way safer. And I feel, it's way safer. But yeah, I'm having a good time.
That's great. Thanks for all your service. That's incredible.
Yeah, Barbara, listen, thank you so much for coming on. By the way, this book, Television Hosting and Presenting, How to Get Your Foot in the Front Door. Here's one, Philly, that's probably amazing. Barb, you also have classes. I know sporadic. I mean, not right now, but when things get back to normal. But you may have them on Zoom. I don't know.
Yes, I do. I love training by Zoom, because one of the things is, therefore, I get people from around the world.
If somebody wants to, how do they get a hold of you, or they go to your site? Give us your site. Tell us how to get in touch with you on there as well.
I'm really easy to find. So my website is www.abelintermedia.com, and that's Abel, A-B-E-L, like in the Bible. Mm-hmm. And so everything is housed there. It's easy to connect with me. My email's there, podcasts, the class list, etc. There we go.
Beautiful. Barb, thank you so much. Continued success.
I love you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm going to get another screenshot so I can get.
All right. Wait, hold on. We got to get ready.
Oh, okay. One more time.
There you go.
Thanks, Barbara.
Congratulations. I am a huge fan. Thank you so
Barb,
much.
Thank you so much. And you keep going. And again, it's you got the ebook right here.
That's got on my website, by the way.
The regular book right here, and also the podcast, Camera Ready and Able, the intersection of media and change. And this young lady will certainly help you. She will guide you to your success.
To change your life.
Just saying I was young, so I love you even more than I did 3 minutes ago. So, mwah.
Barbara, thank you so much. And we'll listen. I'm sure we'll see you down the road.
Absolutely.
All right. Take care. Have the great rest of the summer.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Barb. She's great, right, Phil? I told you Barbara was great.
Yeah, what a great gal.
Yeah, no, just awesome. Absolutely. And she's certainly, I've been on panels with her and hosting classes, and she really knows just who's the kid in the background? Who is she? Get her off this show. What is she doing? Shyla had a good summer, I bet, huh? Little camp, little beach. Well, Soup, that's our one show for this week. We'll be back next week. We have an amazing set of guests coming up. I mean, we'll book through the end of August into September. Like I said, Nick Tarturo is coming up next week. Nancy Allen, the actress from RoboCop, is coming up. Do you remember? Did you ever watch Desperate Housewives?
Sure.
Well, the Kinsman twins, their brothers, they were on Desperate Housewives. The young boys, they were also in Cheaper by the Dozen. Steve Martin's.
Oh yeah.
The young twins. They're coming on the show. They're 21 now, and they're both like gunning to get back into the acting game. So they're coming on as well. And of course, we have so many great artists, musicians, magicians coming on. Got a lot to do. Suki, summer's over. It's over.
Not
it's over.
For me.
I'm telling you.
I'll see
it's
you guys
over.
in September after Labor Day. I'm enjoying my summer, Scott. This is what I live for.
I know.
This is good for me.
I know. Listen, babe, we'll Philly and I'll continue here in the OT, and I'll talk to you later on.
Bye, Philly. Bye, guys.
Hey,
Take care.
Suki. Bye-bye.
Bye, Stuker.
Same here.
Philly Kid, what's the latest and greatest, my friend?
Oh man, just we've been having thunderstorms like crazy. Probably got, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches of rain in just a couple of hours, so it's kind of flooding around here. But so I'm just hanging out, hanging out with Scott and on the Suki and Scott show and enjoying
Great
life.
show. I mean, did you see Trishes before as well? Did you see
Oh
her?
my gosh. Yes.
I mean, wow. I mean, the music was like it was kind of out there, but you start listening to it and you're like, man, you know what? This is pretty cool. The way she's working it with all the instruments was wild. And she gets the loop going. That's the soundtrack to the song. It was great.
Yeah, I can barely push the button on my Smule app,
I know,
so.
man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Hey, speaking of Shmuel, before you get going singing live, let me give you a little of this.
In the town where I was born lived a man who sailed the seas, and he told us of his life in the land of submarines. So we sailed onto the sun till we found a sea of green, and we lived beneath the waves in our yellow submarine. Come on, Philly. We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. And our friends are all aboard. Many more of them live next door. And the band begins to play.
Get your trumpet, Phil.
Oh, we all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine.
We all just live in a yellow submarine, my friends. That's why you can do your part. Hero4life.us. Help out a disabled vet. Use our promo code USA1 and you get 20% off.
As we live our life of ease,
a life of ease.
Every one of us has all we need. Sky of blue, and sea of green. In our yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine, yellow submarine.
5 more times.
We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine.
What color?
We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine.
Phil, tell us the truth. Your submarine is gold, isn't it? Very expensive.
That song just makes you happy.
Every one of us.
You picture the Beatles and hi-hats just marching down the street. That's awesome.
Let's just say Yellow Submarine 37 times.
Yes.
Philly, I got to tell you, I'm exhausted from the last 2 days of my life. I'm exhausted. Most of the time I get to hang out, chill out, but the last 2 days of my life have been very, very hectic with this SummerSlam coming up this Saturday.
Yeah,
I'm doing live shows last night. I'm shooting shows today. I'm running back. I got to take my daughter back to college tomorrow. I had to get a bigger vehicle. I mean, I had to get ready for the show tonight. But as soon as we get to the OT, Phil, I know that you were going to carry us through to the end.
I will carry you through to the end. But first,
Go ahead.
I've got a quiz for you, Scott.
Oh, here we go, baby. Light me up.
Today is the birthday of
Go ahead.
a singer. You can call him a singer/actor.
Okay.
And I'm going to sing a song, and then I'll ask you a couple of questions afterwards.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, you weren't gonna ask me who I thought it was?
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you who you think.
Singer actor.
Singer actor.
Right.
And he actually sang this song.
The guy from Star is Born. What's his name with the beard?
No.
All right.
Okay. So here's your first clue.
Go ahead.
Let me sing it all the way through before you start shouting out answers.
All right, go ahead.
She's like the wind.
Oh, Jesus, Patrick Swayze.
Through my tree. She rides a night next to me. She leads me through moonlight only to burn me with the sun. She's taken my heart, but she doesn't know what she's done. Feel her breath in my face, her body close to me. Can't look in her eyes. She's out of my league. Just a fool to believe I have many things she needs. Next line, Scotty.
She's like the wind through my dreams. I feel your breath in my face. Her body close to me. Can't look in her eyes. All right, I'm sorry.
Okay, so the name of the singer, which you already answered.
Patrick Swayze, go ahead.
Okay, the second question for my quiz is, now that song was in the soundtrack of a film from 1987 starring Patrick Swayze.
That would be Dirty Dancing, my friend.
That's good. That's good.
You can't get me on that. I would say Roadhouse, but I know that's not the correct answer.
Patrick Swayze, one of my favorite actors of all times and singers. He was 57 years old when he passed away, September 14th, 2009, and we all miss him. Happy birthday.
Can you tell me what his name was in Dirty Dancing, Phil? What was Patrick Swayze's name in Dirty Dancing?
Oh man.
Patrick Swayze's name in Dirty Dancing.
Help me out, viewers.
I always do the last dance of the summer. Patrick Swayze's name in Dirty Dancing. Come on, Philly.
Deke. Was it Deke?
No, Deke. Annie helping you out. Ann Roth.
Johnny Castle. Yeah, I don't know if I ever knew it. I just
Johnny Castle, yeah. And remember, Richard Marx was married to the young lady who was in Dirty Dancing, the one who ended up getting pregnant, having the abortion, which was very illegal back then, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Castle. Great movie, though. You can watch that anytime it's on.
Yeah. So anyway, happy birthday, Patrick Swayze, to any Patrick Swayze fans out there.
I can't believe Swayze passed away. That's unbelievable, right?
Yeah, I know. 57 years old. I mean,
come on.
He should still be cranking out the hits right now.
Barb Fawcett said she loved the Conway Twitty song.
Okay. Well, hey, let's start off with that one. Thank you.
By the way, before you continue on, Phil, what was the name of the hotel in Dirty Dancing?
Is that the one you worked at when you were in college?
No, but it reminds me of it. But it might as well have been shot there.
I don't know.
Kellerman's, yeah. Oh, Philly kid, you disappoint me.
I know. I came up with the quiz, and I don't even know all these answers.
Is there a Conway Twitty you'd like to perform?
Yeah, let's do a little Conway Twitty in Make Believe. People see us everywhere. They think you really care. But myself I can't deceive. I know it's only make believe. My one and only prayer is that someday you'll care. My hopes, my dreams come true. My one and only you. No one will ever know how much I love you so. My only prayer will be someday you'll care for me. But it's only make believe. A little too high. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. My hopes, my dreams come true. My life I'd give for you. My heart a wedding ring. My all, my everything. My heart I can't control. You rule my very soul. My only prayer will be someday you'll care for me. But it's only make believe. Yeah.
Nice, baby. I'll tell you, I don't think I know one Conway Twitty song. Would I know one?
Hello, darling.
I don't know any of them. Who sang, Hey, did you happen to see the most beautiful girl in the world?
Charlie Rich.
And if you did, was she crying? Hey, you know what we never did?
What's that?
Communication is the problem to the answer. You got a number and your hand is on the phone. And after all, just the lines are gone. The things we do for love. The things we do for love. Like walking in the rain and the snow when there's nowhere to go. And you're feeling like a part of you is dying. Remember that song?
Yeah.
And you're looking for the answer in her eyes.
You think you're gonna break up, and she says she wants to make up.
Oh, you make me love you.
Ooh, you got away. Ooh,
oh,
you had me crawling up the wall
on the day. How does that? Do you have that up on your screen?
Yeah.
Give me the first line of that. I went out of my head.
Too many broken hearts
have fallen in the river. Too many lonely souls have drifted out to sea. I love that song. 10cc sings that song.
10cc.
Never to be heard from again.
Yep, that was a one-hit wonder.
The things we do for love.
The things we do for love.
Boom, 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 boom. The compromise would surely help the situation. Agree to disagree, disagree to fall. The compromise, the things we do for love. That reminds me of when I was in like 6th grade, for God's sake.
Yeah, it's old. It's old. But
what else do you like? What else do you like, Philly kids? Sing it up, baby.
Let's do a little Sam Cooke. There we go with darling, you send me. I know you send me. Darling, you send me. Honest you do, honest you do, honest you do. Whoa, you thrill me. I know you, oh, how you thrill me. Darling, oh, you thrill me. Honest you do, honest you do, honest you do. At first I thought it was infatuation, but whoa, it's lasted so long. Now I find myself wanting to marry you and take you home. Whoa, you, oh, you send me. I know you send me. I know you send me, baby. Honest you do, honest you do, honest you do.
Whoa, for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest. If you said goodbye to me tonight, ooh, there would still be music left to write. Ah, what else could I do? I'm so inspired by you. That hasn't happened for the longest time. Go, Phil.
Once I thought my innocence was gone. Now I know that happiness goes on. That's where you found me.
When you put your arms around me.
I haven't been there for the longest time. Go, Scotty.
I had second thoughts at the start. Oh, I forgot. I just forgot. Wah, wah, wah.
Maybe that this won't last very long, but you feel so right, and I could be wrong. Maybe I've been hoping too hard, but I've gone this far. It's more than I hoped for.
I'm so inspired by you. Philly, let me tell you who's on next week.
Tell me.
Let me tell you who's on. We've got an amazing singer, Bridget Caldwell, is on Tuesday. The Kinsman Twins, those are the boys from Cheaper by the Dozen. Bella Barbaro is a singer, gorgeous young lady. Ava Maybe, another amazing singer. She's the daughter of one of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, by the way.
Nice.
Nancy Allen's coming on from RoboCop. Who did I say also? Nick Tarturo, one of your favorites.
Oh yeah, man.
Nick's coming on.
One of my favorite actors. Yeah.
The show rolls on, my friend. Will be soon to be seen on Crackle Plus.
Woo!
That's coming up. You know, summertime, things slowed down. Crackle Plus is coming up though. Still can see us on Stir, on NJOnAir.com. So we're all over the place. Adding, building, and building the show.
Yes.
Building the show. You heard Barbara. She said we're relevant. We have to stay on. You stay relevant.
Yeah, she's relevant. She knows like the millions of people around the world. She knows a good thing when she sees it. That's it's people like her who recognize the greatness of the show.
Yep.
that make Suki and Scott show the #1 show on Stir.
On the Stir Network. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
The #1 show on the Stir Network.
Oh, there it is.
Suki and Scott show. Above such shows, legendary shows as Heartland, Showtime at the Apollo, Deal or No Deal, Forensic Files, and many, many more legendary shows. Suki and Scott show is at the top of the list.
Yes.
Again, top of the heap,
king of the hill. A #1, these little town blues. So again, next Tuesday, Bridget Caldwell is going to be here, and that's just going to start off and kick off a whole new week of shows. You heard about Tony Bennett, huh? He just he retired from his tour. He's done.
I did not hear that.
Yeah. He's doing. He did the shows at Radio City with Lady Gaga. I have some folks who I know that worked on that show. They said that he seemed very, very out of it backstage until he got on stage, and then he was Tony Bennett, but barely knew where he was.
Oh no.
So yeah, and then I just read that he just canceled the rest of his tour, and he basically just said I'm done. So.
Oh no, I hate to hear that. And
but 95. Listen, he's done it 95.
Yeah, that's that's like my age and 35 more years in the business. So he did pretty good. But our prayers are with him, and we wish him the best.
And that's it, Philly Kid. Listen, before you finale up, don't forget, everybody, we got the shirts. You got all kinds of stuff. Where is it? I know Pam Apollonie had her shirt. We put it on the site. Hero4life.us. We need everybody to go there. We know a lot of you guys did go on and you purchased some items, and it's for disabled vets, to benefit disabled vets. Here's my question. If there was like a coffee mug or a shirt with Phil, me, and Suki on the coffee mug, and it was like Suki and Scott show, and the three of us were on there, do you think people would go and buy that mug, Phil, if we added that to the Hero4life.us catalog?
We would have to ask the viewers. Viewers, put some comments up and let us know. But I think so. I think they would enjoy that.
I mean, I think again, it would be to benefit disabled vets.
Jeannie Clay says yes, I would buy it.
The folks at Hero4life.us asked me if they thought that we could do a mug with like our Suki and Scott logo on one side and you on the other side, Phil, which I think would be pretty cool. So you have the mug, and we got it covered on both sides.
Yeah.
And then everybody can have a nice little mug with the Suki and Scott show stuff on it, and you drink your tea with maybe a little whiskey in it while you're watching the show, and you use the mug. So we may add that to it because again, we're just trying to help out all of our disabled vets, especially all the stuff that's going on in Afghanistan now. All the guys, Phil, you have a lot of friends who are vets, right?
Oh yes.
What is? And listen, we all know what happened in Afghanistan. 20 years, the Taliban's back. They just took, they came back in, took over the place. They say they want to do everything peaceful. I read they even want to let women get involved in their government. But here's the thing. So, what's the word around actual vets? Because, we can only speculate and read, the 20 years that we occupied that country, only to come out and see it just everything, all the money, all the lives that we lost. What's the word with you guys?
Yeah, almost every veteran I speak with, we feel the same way. I mean, over 6,000 Americans, died in that war. 20,000 or more veterans wounded, some very seriously. They'll suffer for the rest of their lives. The mental implications alone are just, staggering for our guys.
Mm-hmm.
And we spent $1 trillion over there.
$1 trillion.
And, a lot of those Afghans were depending on us. And a lot of us feel punched in the gut that we just cut and basically ran. And, I don't know if anybody saw the video of the mobs of Afghanis who were swarming U.S. military planes.
Oh, yeah, that was insane.
Trying to get out. You can just imagine how the desperation that they were feeling, because if they helped us, they are probably going to be killed
into the wheel wells.
Into the wheel well. Yeah, I mean they're it's that just shows the sheer desperation that our allies over there have. So, to say the least, our veterans are going to be suffering a lot of mental issues over this. We've already got the veterans who suffer the physical effects, and again, all those guys who died. So yeah, if you know a veteran, reach out to them, speak to them. I posted on my personal page on Facebook some resources, the Veterans Crisis Hotline. Share that, and so if you know any veterans, reach out to them, talk to them, and just check on them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, listen, again, so hero4life.us, promo code USA1, you get 20% off all the items. And we'll see where I think we may throw like a coffee mug up there. I don't know if we do a shirt that's kind of like I don't know. That's a little insane. You have a shirt with our pictures on it. I don't know if that works for me, but definitely a coffee mug I think would be cool with our stuff on it. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But that's our goal. We just want to raise as much as we can. HeroForLife.us, promo code USON, 20% off all items. And Philly Kid, you want to finish it out with a little something?
Yeah.
By the way, before you do that, Phil.
Yeah.
This is our only show of the week.
Right.
We won't be on tomorrow or Thursday. But maybe you and I maybe we'll do a little pop-up show like we did last week. Come on and just sing a little bit, have some fun. Maybe Friday.
Yeah.
If nobody's doing anything, who knows who's busy, who's not busy. But maybe we'll pop in. But no official shows tomorrow and Thursday. Please make a note of it. All right. What's the big finale song? What's it going to be, Phil?
Well, I get hundreds of requests for this particular song, a little Elvis Presley and wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you.
Like a river flows surely to the sea. You want to do one more? Let's do one more. Come on. What the hell?
Yeah, it's
last show of the week.
Okay, how about
I love my calendar girl. Yes,
Yeah.
sweet calendar girl. Every day of the year. That's how to get that out of my system.
Yeah, I hear you. How about a little Sam Cooke with if you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, baby, bring it to me. Bring your sweet loving. Bring it on home to me, yeah. I know I laughed when you left, but now I know I only hurt myself. Baby, bring it to me. Bring your sweet loving. Bring it on home to me, yeah. I'll give you jewelry and money too. That ain't all I'll do for you. Oh, if you bring it to me, bring your sweet loving, bring it on home to me. Oh, bring it on home to me.
Me, oh, ladies and gentlemen, good night, sweetheart. Well,
it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. We hate to leave you, but we really must say, good night, sweetheart. Good night.
In the town where I was born lived a man who sailed the seas, and he told us of his life in the land of submarines. So we sailed onto the sun till we found the sea of green, and we lived beneath the waves in our yellow submarine. Come on, Billy. We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. And our friends are all aboard. Many more of them live next door, and the band begins to play. Get your trumpet, Phil. Oh, we all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. We all just live in a yellow submarine, my friends. That's why you can do your part. Hero4life.us. Help out a disabled vet. Use our promo code USA1 and you get 20% off.
As we live our life of ease,
a life of ease.
Every one of us has all we need, Sky of blue and sea of green, in our yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine, yellow submarine.
5 more times.
We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine.
What color?
We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine.
Phil, tell us the truth. Your submarine is gold,